Welcome to Tech Studio 24 Free Coding class. In today's topic, we are going to be dealing with how to use Python language to generate newsfeed. There are certain things that you need in order to get this done, and some of them I'm going to be talking about before we proceed to the coding proper. To create a news feed in VS Code, you will need to fetch the news from an API. In our case, we are going to be using the newsapi.org. So you have to fetch the news from an API, and there are also certain libraries that you need to import into the VS Code for you to be able to achieve this aim. So we are going to be installing some prerequisites. And the prerequisite we're going to be installing is the request. So the first thing you're going to do is to install a prerequisite by opening the terminal in the VS Code and type a pip install request. This is the first thing we're going to do. Then after typing this command pip install request, the next thing you need to do is to get your API from a news outlet or a news organization to get an API key. So these are the two things you need to do. So while we already talked about this, now we just go straight to open the VS Code, which is the IDE that we're going to use in writing our program, and we go into the coding proper. So just like I said, we're going to go straight and open the VS Code. This is my VS Code here. This is the welcome environment. And I'm just going to go and on my keyboard, I'm going to press Command Shift P, and on the drop down menu here, I will choose New Python file. So when you do just that, you will see this untitled Python file. So I'll just go to File, and click on Save As. Then I'll give my Python file a name. So we are trying to develop a news feed, right? A news feed. You can give it any name you want to give. I could just call it news f dot py. Let me just use that, and I click on save. So here I have my Python file already set, news f dot py. Py represents a Python file. Then I would open up the terminal. Open up the terminal, click on new terminal. So this is my terminal. So I'll come down here and I will type in pip install request, just like I said in the beginning, and click enter. Okay, it complains here that I could not find the version that the request is. This is actually because I'm using different versions of my Python. So in my Python, I'm using two different versions. So the request is found in another version. So I'll click on Command Shift E. So I'm looking for the Python version. Select you have Python. So Command Shift, you put Python select, choose Python select interpreter. So I would choose the interpreter where I know my request is found. That's where I have Conda, so I choose this. So I've done that. So let's go again. Pip install request. Okay, so it tells me it's already satisfied, so it's down there. Okay, now if you look at my initial error, you will find out that my request 2 was not correct. It's not only the location of my spelling was not correct too. It is request with an S at the end. Okay, so this is already it's already installed now. So we go ahead and remember you need to get an API key from a news organization. We're going to do that later, but right now we'll just write the code and we'll go to fetch the API key later. All right, so since we have installed request, so we start the code by saying import request. See that here, it's showing there already. And come down, then we are going to get an API key, so we have API underscore key equals to inverted commas your API keys here. So this way I'm going to type in your API key when you get it from the news organization. Then of course the news organization I'm using is newsapi.org. So You also type their URL in capital letters. Equals parentheses the news API.org. That's what I'm using. So their URL is https column / news API.org. Sorry, these are in this should be in small letters small letters. So you have https column / news API.org /v2 /top dash headlines. Okay, I want these parentheses to be the same, so I'll use single parentheses. I want everything to be this uniform, so I'll use single parentheses there for all of them. So your API key will be here, and this is the URL. It will be different for yours if you're not using this news organization. So this is the one that I'm using. Now, then you also indicate the country in capital letters. Country equals, in this case, US. So let's also understand certain things here. Let's give some information so that it will help you while you're writing. So hash, so remember to replace, let's say replace your API key. Replace your API key is here with your actual API key. So that's for this. Then here you put hash change this to your preferred country. So if you're in Bangladesh, you put the country code there. If you are in France, FR, you put it there. So whichever place, wherever you are, you change to your preferred code. Now that's that. Then we come down. We have to define our app. So we define our app as def definition. Define. Our first definition is get underscore name news. Name of the app is news. So get underscore news. That's the first definition. brackets and your column. So we're trying to define the parameters. So parameters or params equals inverted brackets. We open this. So we have country. This should be in parentheses. Country should represent this too far. Country should represent country, capital letter, and put a comma. Of course, API key. Put your parentheses. API key. You note that I'm using capital letter to define my parameters here. So API, I'm using small letters to define my parameters. Small letters are capital letter. So be careful with that. So API key also be API key. It's showing there already, so you click on it, and that's that. So okay, now that you have defined the parameters for your app or for your code, you need to tell the software what it's supposed to do. So you say try column, try column, response equals to request. Come up there, so you put it there. Request dot get URL comma parameters equals to parameters. Params equals to params actually. So we have response. I'm going to explain this to you in a bit. So let's bring out the code first. Response does request. Also response dot raise underscore for underscore status. It's there already. You click on it. Close brackets. Function, and you have news underscore data equals response there dot JSON. Close brackets, sorry. Close brackets. Okay, come down a little bit. Then you return the request. Return. It's there already. Return news underscore data. Squared brackets and articles. Okay, then except. Let's bring that down a little bit. That's too. Except request dot exception dot request expression as e colon print brackets parentheses inside for the first parentheses print function that should be capital, should be small letter, print function, and inside the parentheses an error has occurred. Or an error occurred, whatever it is. Code there's no you. Okay. An error occurred. This E as an exception. It should still be inside the parentheses. So yeah, that's correct. Okay. Then return return square brackets. Now let me quickly explain this before we go ahead with the code. Now we define the parameter here. We have country as country, API as API key, and we are instructing the software that you should try the response. That when you try the response should produce a variable get request the request, it should produce the request. When you try a response, the response should be the data of the requested. Let me put it that way. So in other words, the data that you should receive should be equivalent to the what you requested. That's what all this is talking about here. Except there's an exception or there's an error. So it will print that there's an error. So that's what this means. So we'll go ahead and define what we display if there is no error. Okay, so you come down and you have to come to here, define function, define function. Display underscore news articles, display underscore news articles, column, if not articles, column, print no news, print parentheses no news. Available. Okay, now then you return the request. Then for I, comma, articles in enumeric enumerate articles in brackets articles comma I go to a column print function parentheses bracket I dot bracket articles comma article should be article square brackets, no, square brackets. Title. Print. Function. Let me get a corner. Source. Article. Source. Name. The name should be in parentheses. No, this. Okay. Print. Function. URL. Article. URL. Okay, so After this, we have to define the main function. That should be here. Define main function. Define main function, bracket, column, news underscore articles equals to get news. As gets underscore news function. And display underscore news is here in bracket, news underscore articles so that's the main function. The news articles will get us the news, and it will display news underscore articles. If come back here, if underscore name underscore equals in parentheses underscore main underscore. And of course with your your column rather. And this is a main function. Main function. Now here is the code that you need to develop your newsfeed in Python. Everything here you can see there are no errors, and you also will need to change this. Your API is here to your actual API. So the next thing we're going to do now, I'm going to quickly show you how to get API key from your news app. You just go to your news app and ask them for your API key. I already have a news organization, and I will show you mine, and I will show you how I requested for the API key, and I'll put it here before we run this app to see how it works. Okay, here we are. So I open my news organization website. It's newsapi.org. So when you open it, this is the page you're going to see. So since I'm already registered, I'll use login. But since I'm looking at it from the angle that you're not registered yet, so since you're not registered, you click on Get API Key. That's what you need to do. Just click on Get API Key. So it's going to open this registration page. So you register for your API. Just enter your name, your email address, create a password. When you get here, click on For I am an individual. Don't use business, just use an individual. So then I'm not a robot. I agree, then click submit. As soon as you submit, it is going to display your API key for you, and you are already registered. So you can use it to get your API key. So once you display your API key, you're going to copy it and take it back to the where it should be in your code. So I already have my API key, so I'm going to copy it. Then we'll go back to the code. I'll fix it there. Then we can run the app. Okay, so we're back here. I'm going to enter my API key here. I just copied it from where and I paste immediately. So that's my API key. It's copied already. So this is completed. Now I need my terminal. Let me bring up the terminal so we can easily see what we are doing. First of all, clear all this so that it will be clean. Okay, so this is my terminal. Now, the next thing to do is to run this script. So it's either by clicking on run here, or you just enter Python, then the name of your, okay, just enter Python, then the name of your app, which is dash space rather. Name of your app. Name of my app here is newsf.py. So that's what I have there. So then you click enter. Voila. Now you can see all the news are here. Mussolini rights abortion is invalid, judge says. This news, if you look at them, this is Georgia school shooting suspect to face charges. This is different news, but if you notice, all these news are all from the United States. They are all from the United States. All these news. Taylor Swift, Travis Kills coordinates their 11 date night outfit. All these news, they are all from the United States. So if you want the news to change, just go to country, where you have country here, and change it to wherever it is. If it's Great Britain, put it there. If it's France, put it there. Put the code there. France is FR. If it's Canada, CA, put it there. So whichever country you want, just put it there. Then you rerun the app again, and it's going to display all the news. So thank you very much for listening to this free tutorial, and I hope you can copy these codes and improve on it. The code is here now. You can actually copy it right now. You can pause it and copy it and improve and use it to improve your Python skills. Thank you very much. If you love this, you enjoy this class, please click on subscribe so that you always be informed when we have new classes for you. Thank you very much.